This mother worked hard to give birth to a child, but immediately wanted to stab her to death with scissors, because she was the daughter of the devil. But looking at the innocent eyes of the baby, she could not do anything, and finally raised the child. The girl's name was Carrie, and she was not happy. The classmates were playing water volleyball, and she could only watch from the side. When she returned to the locker room to take a shower, there was blood on her body. It turned out to be the menstrual period, but Carrie obviously lacked this knowledge. She cried out for help. She thought she was going to die, but what she asked for help was not help, but the ridicule of her classmates. Carrie slumped helplessly on the ground, weeping bitter tears. The teacher finally arrived to help her. But the seeds of hatred had already sprouted in Carrie's heart, and the lamp tube above her head was affected and exploded instantly. When Carrie came home, her mother knew about it, but instead of a warm hug, she gave her daughter a strange religious prayer. Then the daughter retorted a few words, and she was locked in the closet by her mother. Carrie got emotional and suddenly blew the door open. The next day, the teacher learned that someone had posted a video of Carrie's embarrassment on the internet, and she was even more angry. She made everyone who had bullied Carrie run on the playground. If anyone refused, they would be cancelled from the prom. Qualifications. So the threat is still very effective. Except for Chris. Chris doesn't think she has a problem at all, and she encourages others to resist together, but no one supports her, including her best friend, the Sue. Chris had to leave angrily. She would be the only audience at the prom. When Carrie went back to school, things didn't get better. She was ostracized at school, her classmates bullied her even more, and some people sprayed insults on her wardrobe. The school violence brought Carrie not only pain, but also a magical awakening. There were jerks among the teachers in the school. This teacher deliberately asked Carrie to speak on the stage, but when she was speaking in Carrie, he laughed at Carrie. The whole class was laughing, and only Tommy supported her. Chris was not reconciled after being disqualified from the dance and called her parents and said that she had been wronged. The principal asked to check the mobile phone. If the small video was not on the mobile phone, he and the female teacher were willing to apologize on the spot and restore Chris's prom qualifications. Chris was afraid of their inspection and had to leave. Sue begins to realize her mistake. In order to make up for Carrie, Sue decides to make her boyfriend, Tommy, as Carrie's dance partner. Carrie couldn't believe that Tommy would ask her to be her dance partner. Although out of inferiority, she refused, but her heart has been very happy. After school, she walked into the dress shop for the first time, and she began to look forward to the dance. It was a pity that the clothes were expensive, but her mother was a tailor, and Carrie thought her mother would help her. But when she got home, her mother rejected her directly. Not only did she not allow her to participate in the dance, she even had to move to escape from here. But Carrie would not back down this time. She was going to the dance. She was going to be normal. Carrie was so emotional that the surrounding furniture was lifted into the air and then slammed to the ground, and her mother was lifted into the air. Carrie's mother was still trying to persuade Carrie not to go to the dance. It was immoral and they would hurt her. Mother's mission, Tommy, won't come. But soon, Tommy has arrived. Next to a stretched Lincoln, Carrie is very happy, but her mother threatens Carrie to tell Tommy about her witchcraft and birth. Carrie would not allow her mother to spoil her. On the night of the dance, with a wave of her hand, her mother's mouth was tightly closed, and she was locked in the closet. The door lock was welded to death by Carrie's witchcraft, and no one could stop her this time. Soon, Carrie got into Tommy's car, and they came to the dance. Carrie bravely walked in with Tommy's encouragement. The dance was very lively. Today, she felt the friendliness and gentleness of her classmates for the first time. The soft music sounded. Carrie and Tommy danced gracefully, just like the prince and princess in the fairy tale. She gently leaned on Tommy's shoulder. Maybe this would be the happiest night in her life. But at this moment, the vicious Chris has already started her plan, and she and her boyfriend are secretly climbing the roof. At this time, the dance party is also coming to an end. Everyone will vote for the protagonist this time. The selected person will sit on the throne in the center of the stage and receive enthusiastic cheers from everyone. In fact, there was no hope for Carrie at all, but Chris had already colluded with the host and replaced the votes. Just to put Carrie in the center stage chair, she would pull the mechanism to make Carrie embarrassed. Carrie and Tommy were elected with high votes. They held hands and walked to the stage step by step with the flashing lights and cheers from the crowd. But the moment she stood in the center of the stage, the nightmare began. This is not over yet. Due to a malfunction of the mechanism, the iron bucket suddenly fell, hitting Tommy on the head, and he fell to the ground. Carrie was completely stunned. Maybe she was really the daughter of the devil, and she didn't deserve happiness at all. At this moment, the humble and kind Carrie died, and the witch Carrie was reborn. Now, the hunt begins. Some people escaped from the back door. Carrie started witchcraft. And some people wanted to take pictures. Carrie had red eyes, and the fire sprinkler burst. Carrie was bathed in cold water. But the killing intent in her heart did not cool at all. Carrie wants revenge on those who bullied her, and soon she finds Chris. As Chris and her boyfriend drive to escape, Carrie unleashes witchcraft and the ground cracks. Chris turned around and tried to kill Carrie, but hit an invisible wall. Then they were lifted into the air and thrown into the gas station, and then there was a loud bang. Carrie turned away in the firelight. All the hatred was in this, released in the killing. At this moment, Carrie just wanted to go home. She went into the bathroom and began to wash the blood from her body. When she walked out of the bathroom, her mother hugged Carrie tightly. Suddenly, her mother pulled out a sharp knife from Carrie's back and slammed it into her back. Using witchcraft, Carrie bounced off her mother, who wanted to mend the knife. Was thrown down the stairs. But the mother did not give up. She approached Carrie step by step with a knife, and Carrie was desperate. At the last moment, she overcame the effects of her wound and regained her abilities. Sue also arrived here at this time. She wanted to rescue Carrie, but Carrie no longer wanted to stay in this world. The world had been hurting her and never stopped. She is destroying this house with witchcraft, and this will be her final resting place. She pushes the Sue girl out the door with the last of her strength. The house collapses, Carrie is gone forever, and the movie ends.